Hello, you join me outside West Silvertown DLR station because today, or maybe yesterday, depending on when this video comes out, the Silvertown Tunnel has opened to the public, London's newest river crossing. And today I'm going to be trying to travel through it using as many different modes as possible, starting with the buses. So, the bus stop's just over there. Let's take a ride. So today I'm going to be crossing through the Silvertown Tunnel by bus, bike and car to compare how easy it is for each mode, as well as travelling on a secret fourth mode which we'll discuss later in the video. We'll start with buses though, specifically the 129. Now previously this bus ran from Lewisham through to North Greenwich, but with the opening of the Silvertown Tunnel it's been extended through the tunnel and out towards the Royal Docks. I've already seen one going the other way. It looks like it's using one of the new BYD buses, which is quite exciting. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait for it to arrive. Oh, there's another one there. You're kidding me, a third one's just turned up. That's 1, 2, 3 129s. You know what they say, you wait ages for a bus and then 3 turn up at once. And literally that's just happened. Thank you. Alright, heading upstairs. I've not been on one of these BYD buses before, so this is quite exciting. I've got to say it's quite nice to be riding an electric bus. They're so smooth, they're so quiet. It's great. And here you can see we're just coming up on the control tower for the tunnel, meaning it's almost time to go in. Okay, so we're in the tunnel now. First thing I'm noticing is just its sheer size. You know, one of the things about the Blackwall Tunnel is that it wasn't tall enough to take double-decker buses, but here the bore is huge. I'm going to head to the front to get a better look. We're outside now. What are my thoughts? My thoughts are, I wasn't expecting it to be a short tunnel, but it did go on for slightly longer than I was expecting it to. But otherwise, it's more or less what I expected. It's a tunnel, it's got 4 lanes, 2 for buses, 2 for cars. I think we're now heading round to North Greenwich Station where I'm going to hop off for the next leg of my journey. There's the cycle shuttle. We'll be going on the cycle shuttle later, but it looks like a bit of a queue's formed for it already. Thank you. Alright, so we've now made it to North Greenwich bus station. What do I think of the bus? I think it's quite nice. What do I think of the tunnel? It's alright. I'll give my thoughts about the tunnel a little later in the video, but right now I'm walking towards the tube station because I'm going to get the Jubilee line one stop to Canary Wharf to get my next bus. Canary Wharf. Tube ride complete. I always love arriving at Canary Wharf Jubilee line station. It feels very grand. Okay, so I just missed it, but pulling out behind me there is London's newest bus route, the SL4, and I'm hoping to be taking a ride on it in a sec, but hold on, who's this that I've just bumped into?
Hello, Michael.
Hi, nice to see you.
Very nice to see you as well.
What a happy coincidence. This definitely wasn't planned in any way.
Yes, so I believe, Michael, you've introduced what this video is all about, aren't you?
Yes, Silvertown Tunnel.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I've managed to get a front-facing seat this time. Result. Alright, so we're just leaving now. You might have noticed that when I got on the bus, I tapped with my Oyster card, and that's despite this route being free. So, for the first year, all 3 routes that go through the Silvertown Tunnel and the Blackwall Tunnel have been made free. So there's this one, the SL4, goes through the Silvertown Tunnel. The 129, which I rode a little earlier, goes through the Silvertown Tunnel, and the 108, which goes through the Blackwall Tunnel and always has. All three of those have been made free. You're still meant to tap on with your Oyster card, but they have been made free for the first year from the opening of the tunnel, which is quite cool.
And so we begin our journey towards Grove Park, making various stops around Canary Wharf, as well as passing the famous traffic light tree, which until now I'd not actually seen before. We make a few more stops before arriving at Leamouth Orchard Place, which is the last stop on the north side of the river and the start of the express section of the line.
So we just stopped at Leamouth Orchard Place, which is the last stop before the express section. So we should be going through the tunnel in a minute, right?
Yeah, I think we shall. It's Silvertown Tunnel time, everybody.
Yeah!
We pass through the tunnel again, this time stopping to admire how the green mood lighting illuminates the interior of the bus, before running along the A102 to our next stop. The total length of this non-stop section is about 4 miles, and this Superloop route is unusual in that its buses stop at all stops either side of the express section, with the first stop south of the river being at Shooters Hill Road. After this, the bus cuts across Blackheath Common, before arriving at Blackheath Station, where Hugh and I decide to disembark, allowing the bus to continue its journey further southwards without us.
So we've made it to Blackheath Station, which you can see just behind me here. What were your thoughts about the SL4?
I thought it was really, really nice. It only took about half an hour to get from up there, Canary
It was
Wharf
quicker than I expected
to here.
it,
Yeah, I was very, very happy with it. Qualms about the tunnel aside, it's a really, really fast bus route and a very, very good link for the people of Blackheath, Grove Park, Kidbrooke, Eltham. It's fantastic to get to Canary Wharf that easily. So yeah, SL4, thumbs up from me.
Cool, so we're going our separate ways now. I'm getting the train, you're getting the 108, correct?
I'm getting the 108, I'm going back to North Greenwich and I'm going to get the 129 that you will have seen Michael ride already.
Yeah, so the 108 is the one that goes through the Blackwall Tunnel and is also included in the free travel scheme, so I'm not riding that. If you want to see someone riding it, go check out his video. And there'll probably be other YouTubers riding it as well, but right now I'm hopping on this train to head to the next place I'm visiting. Right. But it's been a pleasure to see you.
You too, Michael.
Enjoy the rest of your day out.
Bye, everyone.
Buses.
Bye-bye.
This is my secret bonus mode through the tunnel, kind of, because I spoke earlier about how 3 bus routes had been made free for the opening of the Silvertown Tunnel for the first year, but there's also 2 short sections of the DLR which have also been made free. So I'm going to catch this train through to Woolwich Arsenal, and then from there I'm going to ride the DLR, hopefully for free.
So it's a quick ride over to Woolwich Arsenal with South Eastern. And once there, I tapped out with my Oyster card and tapped in with my bank card. This is because, supposedly, the way this free DLR travel works is that your card will be charged, but it'll then be refunded later on, so I'm testing this theory using a separate card. Boarding the train, it's time to head through the tunnel under the river. There's another free section of the DLR between Cutty Sark and Island Gardens, but I'm not going to be riding that in this video. Once at King George V, I tapped out and watched the train leave.
So it'll take TfL a little while to actually charge my card and then refund the card, so we won't really know if that's worked until after this video's out, but I'll leave a pinned comment underneath with the latest status about whether or not it worked. Otherwise, I'm going to head back to North Greenwich to travel through the tunnel with our next mode, the bicycle.
Whilst travelling to North Greenwich, I changed to the Jubilee line at Canning Town. I only draw note to this because, even though it's not included in the free travel scheme, you can see how the Jubilee line follows almost exactly the same course as the Silvertown Tunnel in the area, meaning it's probably the closest we'll ever get to riding a train through it.
Okay, so I've made it to North Greenwich Station. The O2 is just behind me there if my camera will focus, which it won't. So now I'm going to ride my second mode through the Silvertown Tunnel, having done the first mode, the buses, the sort of bonus mode of the DLR. Now for my second mode, we're going to see what it's like if you're a cyclist. But first I need to get a bike. Yes, that'll do nicely, I think. So the way of traversing the Silvertown Tunnel in a bicycle is actually to go on a little shuttle bus. But I'm going to cycle over to where the shuttle is, and then we'll film the process and see how it goes.
So on the ride over, I recorded myself by putting my phone on the bike's handlebars, but as you can see, the angle looks ridiculous, so we'll just cut to when I got there.
So I've made it to the bus stop, the bus is just here, and I believe I'm right in saying that you just kind of get on. Park the bike up like so, then you get a clip, there you go, loosen the clip, put it round, tighten the clip. Do I need to do the back as well? No, that's fine. Okay, and the bike is in. So since I've got this whole bus to myself, I might as well tell you a little bit about it. It runs every 12 minutes. It's free for the first year, like all the other buses we've rented today. And TfL have committed to running it for 3 years. Some of the perhaps slightly more cynical people out there are saying, what happens when that 3 years is over? Because, you know, the Blackpool Tunnel never had a cycle shuttle bus. So, I don't know, it's a bit of a messy compromise. A lot of people would prefer there to be a proper bike lane in the tunnel. But I have to say, it's really cool and good fun to ride, especially as I've got the whole thing to myself. So we've just gone into the tunnel now, and it's interesting because although I've already been through this tunnel twice today, this is my first time actually doing it northbound. Both times I've done it have been southbound, so looking at it now, it looks about the same. Alright, so the cycle shuttle has dropped me just outside Royal Victoria DLR station. Now I'm going to cycle over to my car to travel through the tunnel again with a third mode, the car.
So I took a very pleasant 5-minute cycle ride along the Royal Victoria dock, including past City Hall, before arriving back at West Silvertown, where the car was waiting for me.
Okay, so just getting in the car now. Obviously I can't film while driving, but luckily my car has a dash cam, so this footage you'll be getting will be from that.
Switching to the dash cam, it's time for me to drive through the tunnel. So how does it work? Well, drivers can expect to pay a toll of £1.50 off-peak or £4 in the peak hour, though the reduced off-peak price is only available to those who've signed up for TfL's autopay, which seems a bit cheeky to me. But what are my thoughts on the tunnel as a whole? Well, obviously, it's an amazing feat of engineering, and you get a much better sense of scale when you're low down in a car like this than you do from the top deck of a double-decker bus. Despite that though, I'm really not convinced that this was the best infrastructure decision. Whilst it undeniably has positive benefits in terms of improved bus links, these are overshadowed by the fact it's primarily for private vehicles, and it feels like a classic case of one more lane bro, when we should actually be investing in real solutions like public transport and cycle links. Speaking of which, the cycle shuttle is cool, but really isn't good enough for what's needed. The compromise I'd propose would be to convert the western bore of the Blackwall Tunnel, which is already not tall enough for buses and lorries, and convert it into a pedestrian and cycle tunnel, a bit like this one in Norway. Overall, it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity, with its construction rooted in outdated car-centric planning when better solutions are available. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, there's a button specifically for that, and if you want to see more from me, there's a button for that too. So until next time, I'm going to thank you for watching and say cheerio.